knowing that this time that we at this moment call as life has a limited time frame, that in a way this time is limited, that there is a certain degree of actions that you can put into this lifetime. Out of these thoughts, I just think one of the main questions to ask yourself is, what would you like to do with the rest of the lifetime that you still have available right now? You only have that remaining time where you're still possible to do something about the lifetime as you know it right now. Let's call it like this. And so, of course, ultimately, what arises is the wish not to waste this lifetime. So there it suddenly starts with, but what does it mean to not waste? It means doing a lot, thinking that you are doing a lot, but ultimately there is no real outcome. This is the type of actions I would definitely try to avoid in this lifetime. So now the question is, but how can it be? So how does it actually happen that people are doing a lot of things, but ultimately maybe you really come out with nothing in your hands? That can only mean that something in the way of how you handled life and how you handled your actions is not in alignment. It's either not in alignment with what you're wishing, or it's not in alignment with what this life is wishing for you. So in order to not waste time, number one is be sure about your intentions. This is something I have in my hands. So that means every action that I do, I want to bring purpose into the things that I do. How do you bring value, quality into your lifetime? Well, you need to fill it up with that quality. And what is it that is determining the quality? It is the intention, because this intention is creating that quality. Time itself is not limited, but that we perceive this time frame in the way of what we call my life, your life. That one definitely is limited. Time itself maybe is not limited, but the way how we have the chance to perceive it for ourselves, that one, I think, is limited. If the proper way of behaving within a society would be something that naturally arises, you wouldn't need it. But it doesn't. Because meanwhile, we are so many different cultures, so many different nations that are mixing together. The influences that we are, let's say, exposed to, it's too high. People have different upbringings, people have different understandings. So therefore, it naturally comes up that, okay, we need something that is established between us as, let's say, almost like an agreement, which is for you personally that ethical conduct. So that means, I think it's important because it is forming who you are. This is making the difference between somebody who is becoming something because of his environment, the external environment, all these impacts, they have created you. Or you create yourself. Why? Because there is something that you tell to yourself, this is my guide, this is my codex, this is how I want to live this life. And then all these external circumstances, they do not really impact you so much anymore. In the moment, let's say, one of us would win in the lottery, unexpectedly, something like this is easy to appreciate. If we are losing something that we really loved, if something's being taken away from us that we really love, it's difficult to appreciate such a situation. But this is human. That is very, very human. So first of all, I really think that we must differentiate a little bit between what is first of all a human natural behavior and reaction to it. And then afterwards, there is an underlying, there's an underlying story still behind that. And on that behind screen, I do think that every pain that you are receiving, every challenge that you are facing, it belongs to your journey. It is part of your journey. And to acknowledge, to accept whatever life is throwing at you, and still have on the mind that this is like just a test. This is how I used to think for myself. Yeah, I never begged for an easy life. But when challenges are coming right now, and especially when you then realize if you want, you can overcome them. I think this is something that in a way remains deep inside of you and that you can keep on taking. But especially what also arises together with that is that you have solved something for yourself that many, many other people in this world still have ahead of them. And what does it mean right now again? It means that now that you have went through that hardness, now you can be the guide for others. And to maybe see this as a type of purpose. You go through the hard times in order for others not to go through it so hard anymore. Something like this can only arise if you have cultivated something that in our tradition we call compassion. And in this tradition, at the same time, we also say there are two things which are almost the most important, no matter what you do in this lifetime. To have compassion and wisdom. Compassion and wisdom. Those two. These, I would say, like, these are the ingredients for the universe being on your side. What you have there on the mind. Meaning that this life will end in the way how you know it. That sometimes is enough to recalibrate you in paying more attention of where you are investing your lifetime. This is for sure something true. Now, always like, I can already hear probably some type of critics or misinterpretations in that saying that probably are stating that, isn't it a little bit pessimistic to have this outcome every day? So, and therefore I say, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's more useful to have this sometimes on the mind and from that real thought derive your daily actions, or to like not think about it and create an illusionary world that ultimately anyway is going to break down and fail because you are not because your actions, the way how you're thinking, are not in harmony with how it is. And how is it? Impermanent. Not lasting. The lifetime as you know it right now, it's not lasting. So, conclusion, try to make the best from it. Don't waste it.